So it's been a while since I've done one of these, and that is who should get lantern rings. And today we're going to be doing autofocus. We're just going to have to roll with it. Today we're going to be doing a fun one. We're going to be doing a real fun one because this is one I actually like. If I was gonna, when I said I was going to bring this back, and I actually have a Patreon request I've been dying to do for a long time. It's just I've been racking my brain over how to do that one, which is also similar to this. But I thought maybe this would help, kickstart my brain onto helping with this Patreon request. So yeah, as you can see, which Danganropa characters would get lantern rings. I've done this for Ruby, Avatar, Gravity Falls. I think I did this for Stormhawks. If not, I might redo it at least. So I've done this for a lot of characters. I've done this for a lot of shows, and Danganropa was one I was always like, yeah, that's one I should really look at of who could get lantern rings. Now, we're not going to do black or white lantern or the violet lanterns or the gray lanterns. We're just going to stick with the original spectrum. We are just going to stick with the original spectrum. We're not going to do any of the new rings that have come out, like the gray lanterns, or we're not going to do the black or white lanterns either, because if we were to do black lanterns, it'd be literally like more like 75% of the cast. And white lanterns can be formed from anyone. So it feels a little unfair to have black or white lanterns in, because they're literally, the black lanterns are undead and white lanterns are the power, all the spectrum together. So yeah, and again, no ultraviolet lanterns or gray lanterns either, or whatever new fucking rings they come out with. So yeah, let's get started with the original Green Lantern. Now, Green Lantern was a little hard, but I kind of thought it would be like, the more I thought about it, I was like, there's really only one character who's kind of, there's actually a few characters in the Green Lantern series that have overcome there's a lot of characters who've overcome fear in Danganronpa, and there are a ton of characters who could actually be worthy of the Green Lantern ring. So who could be? Honestly, I think the one person who would be the best lantern for the Green Lantern would be Kyoko Kirigiri. Kirigiri was more or less consumed by her, was kind of like apprehensive and fearful of trusting others, but when she met Makoto, her fears were dropped and she actually empowered him and overcame that fear because of him, with his help. So she came over her own fears and insecurities as well. And that's one of the cores of being a Green Lantern, is, overcoming your own personal fears and traumas. So Kirigiri would get the Green Lantern ring, at least in my opinion. And Blue Lantern ring, which is Hope. Jesus Christ, do I even need to say who would get the Blue Lantern ring? It's fucking Makoto, of course. You thought I was gonna say Nagito? No. He may be all about hope and all that, but his version of hope is not what the Blue Lanterns are about. The Blue Lanterns are about spiritual hope as well. Nagito is on another level of crazy, so the Blue Lantern ring would just be like, not you. Gonna go over to Makoto. So he would get the blue. Makoto would definitely get the Blue Lantern. He was the first one. I was like, he's getting the Blue Lantern ring. When I was thinking this over, I was like, yeah, he's getting the Blue Lantern ring. So now we come to our next lantern ring, and that is the Indigo Tribe. So the Indigo ring is one of compassion, but as I have stated in previous ones, it's not the Indigo Tribe ring does not go to those who have compassion in their hearts. It's those who have been shown compassion by others. So they're usually really messed up people. They're usually very messed up people who have been offered a second chance by someone else. And again, there are a lot of characters out there in the Danganronpa universe who would probably fit as candidates for getting a Indigo Tribe ring. But really, really, the one who kind of sticks out to me is Kokichi. Kokichi Oma gets the Indigo Tribe ring because he was shown compassion multiple times, and there were a few other good candidates, but I chose Kokichi because Kokichi represents literally like a guy who's been given way so many chances by good people who still, like, even though he's a fucking liar, he's still given like all these chances and compassion by others. Until he's inevitably found out that, yeah, he is kind of a piece of shit. So, yeah, there are a lot of other picks out there, but Kokichi, in my opinion, is the one I'm going to go with for the Indigo Tribe ring. So now we come to the Star Sapphire. Now remember, the Star Sapphire comes from love, and that love can be either true love or obsessive love. The predator, the entity of love, does not care who gets that ring. It's boundless love. And boy, do we know one character. If you know Danganropa, you know one character who's all about that obsessive love and shows that love can be lethal. Toko Fukawa, Genocide Jack. She would be, Toko is the one who would get the Star Sapphire ring, but knowing how she is, she would be like, knowing how revealing the Star Sapphire costumes are, she'd be like, don't look at me, I'm unclean, don't look at me, only Master Byakuya can look upon me. Or Kumaro. It's hard to say. So, when I was thinking this, again, like, it was Makoto, and then I was like, well, Toko's getting the Star Sapphire ring. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that Toko was not going to get the Star Sapphire ring. Also, could you just imagine her making thousands of scissor constructs for her hands when she goes Genocide Jack on everybody? Like, there's it just makes so much sense. So now we move on to the Orange Lantern, the Ring of Greed. Now, the Ring of Avarice, you have to have great greed. Like, you want everything. And there were a few, like, I was very close to having Byakuya be the Orange Lantern. But then there was someone else who I thought of, and she made a lot more sense to be an Orange Lantern more than anybody else. Like, when I thought of this character, I was like, oh yeah, she is an Orange Lantern through and through. And that's Celestia Ludenberg. Celestia literally said, I would mow down all of you to get what I want. And if that's not a representation of greed and survivalism, I don't know what is. Like, seriously, Celestia literally wanted it all. She wanted a mansion, she wanted thousands of dollars, she wanted servants at her beck and call. Like I said, she wanted everything and would kill for it. That is the definition of greed. That is the definition of avarice. And yeah, so she would get an orange ring, although I think Celestia Ludenberg would probably think it's gaudy. Like, the orange coloring would not go with her Gothic Lolita status. So there you go. Byakuya still has like a good candidacy for being an Orange Lantern. Like, I could still see him as an Orange Lantern, but the thing is I just like Celestia for me just kind of edged him out just a little bit. So that's just me. So moving on to the Red Lantern, the Ring of Rage. Now, as I've stated before, you can't just be angry. You just can't. That's not how you get the ring. Your rage has to be righteous, or what you consider righteous. The ring has to recognize that you've been wronged, and you are filled with wronged hate. And there are, again, Danganronpa has several characters who could, fill that role. But there was one who stuck out to me who would definitely get the Red Lantern ring, and that's Seiko Kimura. Seiko is the ultimate pharmacist who has a Jekyll Hyde persona, and literally she turns into a giant rage monster from her own drugs, and literally is fueled by the hate that she was wronged by a person she thought was her best friend and her boyfriend. Literally, she is wronged by people who her rage is fueled by her wrong, and her monster is literally fueled by that hate as well. So Seiko would, like, again, there are a lot of candidates who I could see get a red ring, but Seiko, for me, takes it as the person to get the Red Lantern ring above all others. So moving on to the Sinestro Core ring, the ring of fear, the one who instills fear. Gee, I do so wonder who in the entire Danganronpa universe would be most deserving of a yellow lantern ring, the one that instills great fear. Junko fucking Inashima, who do you think would get this ring? She literally destroyed the whole world. She literally filled the world with fear and despair, and yeah, there's literally, who else was it gonna be? Like, no, really. There was no other candidate better suited to get the yellow lantern ring than Junko. Yeah. I think, like, everyone knew the moment you saw this video. It's like, oh yeah, Junko's getting the Sinestro Core ring. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much my, those are my picks for lantern rings. So, to all the I like doing Danganropa videos from time to time. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what Danganronpa, do you guys agree with the list? And if so, which Danganronpa characters could you see get lantern rings, other characters? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, if you haven't already, go check out my Patreon. But other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.